Another way of understanding individual differences is becoming increasingly popular, and it's termed a strength-based view. And this strength-based view builds on other kind of perspectives on understanding individual differences, such as the capabilities approach, the values-based approach. It assumes that we all have innate talents and capabilities, and that some are interested in developing certain skills and talents more so than others. And when they are doing that, they build strengths. They become very good, extraordinary in comparison to others in using certain talents. They might have the same talents as others, but because they may have certain values or other perspectives on life, that they develop these strengths much more quickly than others. This strengths approach is a kind of mix in a way, and you'll read and hear more about it. But it's a different way that many managers now are going about understanding individual differences and trying to figure out how can we work with everyone and their strengths that they bring to the table. People might have gone to the same university, might be able to lift the same weights, might be able to do many things in the same way, maybe have same values, but they do have potentially different strengths. And the strengths profile that is most common is developed by Donald Clifton. He says there are 34 signature strengths along which everyone can be categorized, and the idea here is to identify 5 of your key strengths and then build on those, and potentially even avoid and not care about your weaknesses. This model has been very successful in many companies, and it does explain why certain employees feel more engaged than others, because arguably playing to your strength strengthens those strengths, makes you more successful, makes you enjoy life more, work more, etc. Think about, for example, in comparison, a runner who is now asked in an organization to ride horses. Is he allowed to play to his strengths? Not really, so it would be better to use that runner to run. This is a very simplified version, and you go into the Strengths Finder and you can see what your signature strengths are. But the point here is that from a managerial perspective, it is very critical and important to understand that there are people with differences in their strengths, and when you play to those strengths, they are more likely to be engaged and be valuable to the organization than if not. The radical perspective on strengths in some way says that you don't need to work on your weaknesses, just maximize your strengths. And there may be something to that. On the other hand, this is where criticism comes in, and people are suggesting there may be a benefit of working with your weaknesses as well and not ignore them, not be unaware of them. I leave it at that, and I just wanted to sort of conclude this notion on the differences of individuals, of human beings. There are different ways of looking at us, and from a managerial perspective, different ways of understanding people that you work with. Strength being the last.